Ladies and gentlemen, this is a special CER7 breaking news story.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of America. It is Saturday, April the 3rd, 1948, and the time is 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. My name is Chris Cloutier, and I'd like to welcome you to today's broadcast in which we will reveal breaking news about a plan that could fix the financial turmoil in Europe. Let's go to Harvard University in the city of Cambridge, Massachusetts, to discuss the details with a pre-recorded reporting from Ryan.
In response to the chaos on hunger in Western Europe, Secretary of State George Marshall has proposed that the United States provide aid to any European nation that is in need of our financial support. Mr. Marshall says that this move was directed not against any country or doctrine, but against hunger, poverty, desperation, and chaos. He fears that if something isn't done soon, these countries that are facing poverty and unemployment will soon turn to communism to rebuild themselves. I've just been informed that it was on this day, April 3rd, 1948, merely a few hours ago, that President Truman has accepted this proposal and has just signed it into law. Mr. Marshall has suggested that we offer over $15 billion between the years 1948 and 1952, a 4-year recovery program, to the countries willing to participate in exchange for free trade agreement between the countries involved and America. The money for this plan will be provided by the Economic Cooperation Administration to restore economic and industrial production as well as expand trade in Europe. As a result of this, the American economy will keep its wartime boom high because this plan will provide markets and U.S. goods to rebuild the European economy in an image of our own. I suspect that for this reason, the Soviet Union, along with every other country they have control over, will not be cooperating with us. To me, it seems as though the Soviets do not want U.S. influence to spread to the Eastern European nations that they have control over. Hopefully this plan will eventually spark economic recovery and rebuild the confidence and hope in European nations who are currently facing trauma. This is the latest from Harvard University, and now, back to the studio.
Thank you, Ryan. That sounds very impressive when you give that staggering details of that plan. But it does sound as if the Soviets are not cooperating, almost to keep their hold on their expansion of their dreaded communism. This is something the government should definitely be alerted about, and take to heart when they're dealing with the tension between us and them. Again, I'm Chris Cloutier, and from all of us here at CER7 Studios, have a good afternoon.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a special CER7 breaking news story.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. All of us here at the studios have just gotten some breaking news. We, America, and our allies have succeeded in another feat against the communist menace. You may remember almost a year ago, the divided city of Berlin was locked in by the communists. Well, today, good news from the city has finally come. Let us go to the city of Berlin with Elizabeth to discuss more of these details.
Today is May 12, 1949, and I am happy to announce that the Berlin blockade set by the Soviets in June of 1948 has been lifted. After World War II ended, the Allied powers held peace conferences to determine how they would divide Germany's territories. It had been decided that Germany would divide into 4 zones occupied by the United States, Great Britain, and France in the west, and the Soviet Union in the east. The German capital, Berlin, located in the Soviet-occupied zone, was divided the same way. Through the years, the United States, Great Britain, and France aimed for the reunification of Germany. On March 20th, 1948, displeased with the thought of a unified Germany, the Soviet Union withdrew from the Allied Control Council administering Berlin. Finally, in June of 1948, the Soviet Union shut down all highways and rail routes into West Berlin. As a result, no food or fuel could reach that part of the city, and the 2.1 million residents of the city had only enough food to last them a couple of weeks. In this dire situation, the American and British officials started a system that had become known as the Berlin Airlift to fly food and supplies over the blockade. For over a year, planes took off and landed every few minutes in West Berlin around the clock. In the 277,000 flights made, 2.3 million tons of supplies, ranging from food and medicine to Christmas presents, was brought to Berlin. Realizing they were beaten, the Soviets lifted their blockade on Berlin on this day, May 12, 1949. This is the latest from Berlin, and now back to the studio.
Thank you for the updates, Elizabeth. The Berlin airlift has stopped the Soviet Union from taking any more of the German capital city, Berlin. Also, fast sinking and persistence of the American pilots has boosted American morale and our prestige around the world. We are now wondering what the negative impact of this will be, though, as the Soviet Union will certainly not be happy about it. For now, we can just pray that it already does not sour a relation that is in the danger zone. Again, my name is Christopher Cloutier, and on behalf of everyone here at CER7, have a good evening.